Hi, this is our MR 1500 Modern Marketing Assignment. We believe that modern marketing has changed the way consumers see their wants, but that needs have remained consistent over time.
Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Sam Tessier, and I'm a crane operator.
We're going to be interviewing Beth Brophy. Beth, could we get you to state your age for us, please?
29.
All right.
Hi, Dave. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Dave Hopley. I'm a part owner of Rocket Bakery and the retail store Johnny Ruth Living Planet and the restaurant as Pie Pizza.
Great.
Need is.
A need is something that you need to survive. Basically, just shelter, food, water, and healthcare.
And define a want.
A want is something that you need the luxuries of life, like a car, a cell phone, extra money to play with and have fun with.
How would you define a need?
I would define needs as being essential things like food, clothing, shelter for basic human necessities, as well as in the context of consumer needs, respect and fairness.
It's like we're ready to the questions here. How do you define a need?
A need is a necessity for life. It is something that is required for survival, such as food, housing, and clothing.
Okay, perfect, great answer.
How would you define a want?
Wants I consider to be not as essential as needs, but very important nonetheless. There's emotional wants, like feeling good about yourself. In the terms of context of consumers, wants would be products or services that serve to satisfy a craving, or could be an emotional.
How do you define a want?
Want is something that is the opposite of a need, really. It's just something that has probably been marketed to us, something that might enhance our style of living or our quality of life, but not necessarily like
The needs of consumers changed. Needs and wants of consumers changed over the past 10 years or so.
Well, I wouldn't say that the needs really have changed at all. Like basically, the basic human needs, I think, are pretty ingrained. But the wants certainly probably have changed quite substantially, in that there's, with the rise of globalization, the internet, there's a whole lot more options of stuff you can want, lots more consumer goods from around the world. Or
So, how have your needs and or wants changed over the past 10 years or so, or have they?
well, I would say as far as needs go, they're relatively static. I don't think I need anything now that I didn't need before. Like possibly because I'm getting older, I'm more conscious of healthcare issues and health services, which are sort of on the radar these days. But other than that, I don't think that beyond. I don't need any more clothes or less clothes or more food or less. Like it's a similar pattern there. Wants, I suppose there's, because you can get more particular products on the internet, like for instance, say in music, you can look for obscure blues musicians on the internet.
Yeah.
So, which you would never been able to be either A, even heard of, or B, be able to buy their records because they didn't exist.
There's a lot of pressures to live beyond what you can afford because of social media, and certain marketing makes you think that you need things when you don't actually. Like the new iPhone 6S or the new Android S7. You don't need it, but you feel like you do because of marketing, and social pressures make you think you really don't.
And is there anything you used to consider a want that you now consider a need, or vice versa?
A car is a good example because you don't really need a car. You can use public transit, you can use a bike, you can walk, but a lot of people feel like they need a car, but it's really more of a want.
Okay, perfect. What do you think is the biggest change that has occurred within needs and wants of consumers over the last few years?
over the last few years, difference between needs and wants.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we're starting to see now the difference between what was marketed to us in the late 80s and 90s, which was like the consumerism boom, where everything seemed somewhat attainable and it was marketed to us to like shop, shop, shop. Now, a couple decades later, we're starting to see the repercussions of that financially, and hopefully, I think the change is that we're looking for more sustainable, not fast fashion, quality pieces in our life, rather than just something for the sake of purchasing.
Okay, perfect. What is the biggest change for your personality as a consumer with your own needs and wants in relation to modern marketing?
I'm starting to understand the concept of fast fashion and how dangerous it can be, and the importance of ethical and sustainable shopping, whether it's clothes or housewares. It takes like hundreds of liters of water to make a pair of jeans. So I'm trying to understand the impact on the environment and, more importantly, on the low-wage workers that are producing factory clothing.
Right.
So that's changed for me. I'm looking.
Well, it seems that our consumers are becoming more socially responsible. Wants can be instantly gratified, but needs do in fact remain consistent over time. Thanks.